Sonic Frontiers has obviously been through a pretty rough cycle when it comes to the reveal of this game, the gameplay, mechanics, the marketing. Everything about Sonic Frontiers has just been extremely rough, and obviously it's gotten better and better as time has gone on to look like a game that is worth buying. And I think Sonic Frontiers has truly won me over at this point, but the road to it winning me over was not easy whatsoever. I want to talk about how Sonic Frontiers won me over and why I think it's actually just going to be a good game at this point. I don't care anymore. I'm not playing this neutral thing anymore or trying to be devil's advocate at times. I just genuinely think it's going to be good and it looks good, and I couldn't care less what anyone else has to say at this point. I'm happy to be excited right now. That ain't to say that my previous thoughts are discounted or anything, because the game has looked extremely rough at times and I was very critical. But at this point in time, I'm okay. But before we hop into that, today's sponsor is Yahaha. Yahaha is a brand new user-generated content creation platform tool for 3D multiplayer games. With Yahaha, anybody can create their own vision that they want to make in any virtual space. And one of the best things about Yahaha is you don't need any coding experience whatsoever. You can just hop on the game and use the simple and smart assets that the game has. Yahaha Studio has all the tools that you need to make the games that you want. The game has great social activities and very fun multiplayer modes. It supports multiplayer playing one game simultaneously in one template or one game. Players can invite friends and hang out with them. They can also meet brand new friends at any time and enjoy the countless immersive 3D spaces and like-minded communities. Play Yahaha today to experience and create the games of your dreams. So I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. The main way they got me is very simple. Soap shoes. Yep, that's right. Soap shoes. Sonic Adventure 2, let's go! No, I'm just kidding. But seeing the soap shoes come into this game is a form, I would say, of nostalgia pandering, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't care. Here's the thing. Sonic has been getting nostalgia pandering for the last 10 plus years, and it's all mostly just been classic stuff. I feel like the stuff that people really love when it comes to 3D Sonic has not gotten the love that it deserves. Sonic Forces did a little bit of it with the remixes and stuff, and I guess fake bringing back old enemies, but I think that's the wrong way to do it, because they use that as a lore tool to get us into the game, whereas these soap shoes are just a little extra thing you can get if you sign up for the little newsletter. Now I think it's a little dumb that it's exclusive to the newsletter, but don't get me wrong, it's still very cool because it's the soap shoes. And they do look similar to the Sonic Forces custom hero ones, but you can tell they're improved. They don't look as cheap and plasticky. They look like actual shoes this time. Now obviously the freaking shoes are not the reason why I'm excited for the game, but it definitely just did add to my excitement. And you know, maybe we're going into a new era of Sonic where they're going to be pandering more towards adventure stuff, I guess. And hey, that may get annoying after a while, but it's better than freaking classic pandering all the time. Now, I want to say one thing about Frontiers is what I was really hoping from this game. I wanted everything to feel brand new. I feel like everything obviously doesn't feel brand new. Even though we have the open world and all this new stuff and original like ancient design, it still isn't brand new enough in terms of how Sonic is. I was expecting a brand new model, crazy fluid animations like Insomniac almost. Okay, maybe I wasn't expecting that much, but that's what I would like to see. But it does reuse a lot of older stuff. And to be honest, as a first step for an open world game, I think I can let it slide. But if we continue to improve off of this formula, I think that was what truly makes me the most hype about Frontiers, is this formula's potential is huge. I just want to run around as Sonic. I'm tired of going forward the whole time in these boost stages. That's been overdone. Even Sonic Lost Worlds level design is kind of boo-boo to me. It still feels like you're going forward, and mostly forward. And yeah, that's not typically a problem because Sonic Adventure 2 is a more linear based game, but it's similar to Sonic Unleashed in a way where it's a lot more reactive. I like moving forward, but having it being super reaction based rather than some gens level design, forces, and colors even. And that's why I'm not looking forward to Cyberspace that much, because it does look kind of boo-boo. The controls are said to be not that great. The level design isn't always that great, and there's short levels like Forces. It just overall isn't looking that appealing. But it doesn't look like it's going to ruin the game or make the game feel terrible, because the game's not based around cyberspace, as in you don't have to technically do them. And on top of that, there's a whole other part of the game. If it was just Forces 2 in a way, then I feel like yes, that would be a really, really big issue, because then that would be the whole game. I think things like that can work as complements rather than being a whole package. I think the context matters a lot as well, because again, yeah, those are Forces-esque stages, but they're almost like special stages now in this context of an open world. So that idea of them isn't technically terrible, it's just more so that The level design doesn't seem that great for the ones we've seen at least, and the controls are known to not be that great either, because you can't customize them like you can in the open world. But overall, I think I was just won over by the potential of Sonic Frontiers. The potential for the next 3 games even. It's almost like Sonic 06 in a way, where Sonic 06 was going to be the next big thing. This is how Sonic's going forward from now. But it flopped, of course, which made us not keep going that way. But in this case, it doesn't look like a Sonic 06, but it is definitely the next big thing for this franchise. And its potential is huge. More games like it, well, technically should be better. And I want them to keep going forward with this formula, and then maybe even drop Cyberspace in the future, because I don't think we're even going to need it. You can come up with so many different activities around the world. You can add levels within the world in the next game, connect whole islands with a boost level. There's just so many ideas that you can come up with. Cyberspace for now I think is only the answer because this is new to them. My own guess for how much I'll enjoy this game will probably be an 8 out of 10 if I'm being honest. At one point it was like a 7, but I think it's gone up. I think the more I see of this game, the more I'm cool with it. There's still some things I don't really like the jank animations, Cyberspace. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about controlling the stats of Sonic. Slightly worried about the combat difficulty. There's things that definitely bother me. But I think the core game itself is good enough from what I'm seeing to where I think I'm just in. But yeah, that's how I was won over. If you were won over, let me in the comments below. If you weren't, let me know why you weren't. And make sure you hit subscribe. And like always, I'll see you in the next one.
Well, whatever happens, happens.